this idea that we can change the world we live in if we just take the time to kind of stretch ourselves and be vigilant in being the men God has called us to be. And
my name is Hilton, and as a retreat junkie, I am very glad to be here. I love retreats. So when Norm called me last summer and said, you know, maybe we do this next men's summit on coming together across difference, I raised my hand and said yes immediately.
Suggesting something that I think is super powerful, which is that the local church is the hope of the world, and that the men in the church are the hope of the church. And that's not to demean women at all, but I think the way God created the architecture of the local church was, it's kind of like the Apostle Paul knew. He didn't have to tell women, here is your responsibility. He had to tell men that. And so the entire New Testament skews toward men, because we need to be reminded.
Cause you unravel me with a melody, and you surround me with a song.
I have probably failed at generalizing everyone who voted for Trump, that they completely accept everything about him. Right. And so, you know, I watch MSNBC or I watch NPR, whatever, and so mostly what I hear is negative things about Trump. Help me get a different perspective about him.
I think what helps me feel comfortable with the decisions that I made around supporting our current president is that he brings in a new light, a different perspective. He's not part of the status quo, right? That's what I saw, and that's what I was excited about. It's not fully blowing out cleaning the swamp or anything. It's more of he brings a whole nother point of view to, from a business point of view, right? Versus the same old of collect taxes and spend.
Of deliverance from my enemy until all my fears are gone.
I think if more Democrats could hear that kind of honesty from Republicans, instead of just assuming that, like you said, I'm a Republican, so everything that Trump does is perfect. It's like if Democrats had a president, they wouldn't think that everything that president did was perfect. So why are we assuming the other party does? It's pretty interesting.
Yeah. And then the same thing on my side. I love hearing about the other side because, at times I would tell you, because the conservative movement is slow to change, but yet we jump on board with Trump because he's bringing change. It's like, isn't that an oxymoron? We're slow to change, but yet we want to bring someone who is change. That's something that we have to struggle. That I struggle with. It's like,
for I am a child of God.
I've been looking for a home, and I think I found it. I found it this weekend, and like I was trying to just fit into other churches, but over here I don't have to try that. I don't have to. I'm just home. So thank you guys for listening.
But it's a story in the Bible about Saul, what he was doing in life, And if God could save him, I know that was a chance for me too. And y'all should come to Travis Heights, man. That's where I'm at. I'm a student of Travis Heights. I thought I'd never be in a place like this when I was 16. I wasn't thinking about nothing like this here, man. But I love all y'all, man. Y'all take care of yourselves.
Those doors, I don't feel guilty. I feel like I'm home, and I feel like I'm with family. I get to change because I feel loved and I feel the acceptance of who I was made to be. And that is a huge difference than what I have been used to experiencing in a body of Christ. So that is what I am most grateful for today and for this place.
Incredible souls, and I've been so honored to just sit and listen to your experience and your wisdom.
So if you don't take anything else away from this weekend, you can always return home to the Father. Amen.
Some of you are aware of this, some of you aren't, but as I think I've shared, I am retiring at the end of August, and I'm headed to Nashville. I have a 15-month-old grandson, and my wife and I want to see him grow up. So what happens from here is really pretty cool. There's two things. One, Paul came and joined me June, the third week in June, on staff as our new men's coordinator. And the second announcement is Kevin Hedges, who many of you know, who's been a pastor here for a variety of years, and I'm going to call him up wherever Kevin is. Is Kevin here somewhere? Come on up, Kevin. Kevin is the new pastor. Take it from there.
Many of you have asked me what's going to happen moving forward and all that. I think before you can move forward, you got to talk about a little bit of the past and present. So if that's okay with you, I'm going to invite up Brian and Roger and Rick and Jason, and along with myself, we just want to kind of honor you a little bit, Norm, for what you've done for us. And these are Norm's leaders for various things within the men's ministry.
Norm, I feel like this is the first of many lasts. This will be your last retreat, and I felt like this was just a good time to honor you and what you've done in my life. And on a mission, man, I love you, and you have been just an instrumental part of my life since I decided to take that first step of joining a small men's group and really learning how to do life with other men.
Hey, Norm. So I got a text last night at home from a couple of these guys saying, get up and say a few words to Norm as we honor him. First thing I'd say about Norm, you know, thinking about the ways I would describe Norm and the impact on my life, thank you for the gift of Jim Ramsbottom. Thank you for pouring in to so many of us so we can pour into this community. Thank God for Norm Schoenfeld. Thank you for pouring into me. Your legacy will live.
And 5 years ago, I went to my first men's summit, and I was facing a major transition out of a career of 40 plus years. And the next thing I knew, I was in El Salvador.
That kind of happens, doesn't it?
It kind of happens. But it really made the transition easy. You're able to take a retread Southern Baptist, find a place for it. And so my prayer is that in Nashville, there's a Norm just waiting for you who's going to rope you in. No, I mean, he's going to encourage you to get involved in. So thank you, Norm.
Either my first or second summit and decided, you know, I'm going to join one of those men's groups. And Jim Ford was a wonderful mentor, and I was just really soaking it up and enjoying it. And then Norm said, well, don't you think we need to have a lot more men's groups? And I said, no, I'm good. And so at some point in the game, he says, well, we need to have at least one each week. And so, Lord only knows, but somehow I became one of those 5. Norm, thank you so much. It's been a real pleasure and just a wonderful experience for me.